G'day everyone, it's SDS SuperCoach, providing SuperCoach content for you, here to present the round 15 review here on AFL SuperCoach 2025. First time I'm ever doing this on StreamYard, so this might be a bit weird. I've been doing it on Zoom ever since I started and didn't really change it. Thought I'd give this a crack. I think this has probably got a bit more potential to just be better to organise the screen. So it's a bit weird not seeing a face cam on my screen, but we'll see how we go. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Appreciate all the support. Love everyone here. Yeah, so 2031 was my score. My worst round in a fair while, it's fair to say. And our season rank now is 1,449th. So all the hard work we did to get to this position, unfortunately, is we're back to the start, because we were going from 1,500, been climbing into 1K, and now we have to start again realistically. So, which is fine, because I did make one huge blunder. I do apologise for the StreamYard little logo there right next to me. I think I'll adjust a layout on StreamYard to just see what feels right here. So let's head into the team. I guess so only 6 league wins. Got ignore what this says. I've actually got 7 trades left. I've just been playing around with it. Team value. The team value is actually crazy. So I can't believe that. We're nearly 13.9 million in team value, and I guess with the inclusion, we'll get in Tom McCarthy this week, and that might just go up to 14 million, which is just crazy considering how bad of a cash gen has been this season. That's pretty handy to have. So let's talk about the squad. What are some things that went wrong realistically? So one of the main things that did go wrong was, as you can see right here, Bailey Dale was my captain. I was due for a stinker for my captain's for a captain, and it happened this week. And every year I have a bad week of captaincy, and it's this week, and it's usually around the bye rounds when we got less options to work with. So yeah, it was this week. That's fine. So I identified Brayshaw as my best captain option for the week. That didn't pay off. All the points actually went to Sarong for the first time this season when it came to the Freo mids. And it was between Dale and Tom Green. I thought Dale was my second best option, half back against Richmond. Like, we saw what Sinclair's done. We've seen what all these prototype of players have done to Richmond, and unfortunately Dale, he didn't have a bad game. It was a perfectly fine game, but that was it. And to rub salt into the wounds, Max Holmes, he was on the bench for basically the second half of the last quarter. He just had his legs crossed. I saw it cut to the bench, and Dale just had his legs crossed, his feet kicked up, looking like he was chilling. I saw a bit of calf strapping for Dale, which is a little bit of alarm. We did know about that in pre-season. He injured his calf, but hopefully nothing too serious. So an 83, little bit disappointing, but we get that happens to us every year. Once a year, we always put in a captain stinker. Unfortunately, this week it was this week. If Brayshaw went 115, I would have taken it, because I was just looking at my captain options this week. I wasn't a fan of many of them, so is what it is there. So that was really the main blunder, because it was going so well this week. I was looking through how I felt like I was going, and it felt really good. So up until that last game just absolutely destroyed me, unfortunately. That this Bailey Dale captaincy, Marcus Bontempelli, everyone had the captain on him, and he went nuts. So yeah, that definitely did hurt, but it's okay. Rank 1500s, but we are now in the situation now where we want to complete our team. The one trade I did last week was Luke Pedlar to Callum Mills, because I've had this money banked for a fair while. Obviously, it's not like that anymore. But yeah, I definitely wanted to get in Callum Mills just to wrap up my team. And so now we've got 23 premiums, and now with 7 trades to go, which has been surprisingly good trade behavior of me. So basically completed the side with 7 trades to go. Haven't really traded any premiums per se. I think Tom de Koning was really one of the main ones. Other than that, we've been pretty good with, we held Horn Francis, we held McRae, and we just kept jumping onto players that I thought were value for what they could do. And that's realistically what we've done. I might do a video this week on reviewing my trades, but maybe that might be a thing heading into round 17 when all my trade plans are done. So yeah, let's quickly review the side. Max Holmes 110 in the fourth. So very happy with that. He's been in the side for a month now, and he's been tremendous for me, as shows the price. Now, brought him in for the Eagles game, and he's been absolutely immense. So he gets a well-deserved week off. During the fourth quarter, I did see him have a little bit of strapping. He was going down onto the bench with an ankle complaint, got it re-strapped, and he came back on. So rest that ankle up, Holmesy, because your run home is insane, and I definitely want to be involved with that. So we need him for the 2 Richmond games. There's an Essendon game. There's a there's not a Gold Coast game. Yeah, it's just something insane. Jackson Clare 65, disappointing. We'll let him off this week, but pick it up, mate. That was disappointing. 65. He was just super accountable and just played bad. Dale, as I said, 83, played a solid game, but just wasn't captain worthy. And yeah, he just loved the bench that game, and which is fair enough. They were just absolutely smashing the Tigers. Connor Rosey had 89% CBAs. We don't want that. We want that backline role. Now, he still was playing the backline, taking kick-ins, all that stuff, but we kept Rosie because of this backline role, which was just insane with what he got. So, been very happy with Rosie this year, but can you chuck him? Can you move Horn Francis into the midfield and move Rosie back into defence? That'd be awesome. Callum Mills on debut looks sensational. Isn't getting CBAs, but he is a main orchestrator in that Sydney defence. Taking a few kick-ins. He's just so smart with the ball in his hands, and he was a tremendous watch on debut. So fantastic stuff from Millsy. And he was good. Matt Carroll, 63. So I looped Carroll and Clark because I couldn't find a way to get anyone else in there. Could I have done that? No, well, didn't matter anyway. I'm fairly certain there was because I didn't want to bench Zach Johnson. So it didn't really matter in best 18. So I looped Clark and Carroll just to see what type of score they could get. If this was best 22, I'd probably take this Clark score, but in best 18, we're looking for some spike scores, and I just thought, well, Clark's probably not going to matter in my best 18 anyway. I may as well just have a crack at Carroll. 2 points difference, doesn't really matter. Clark was solid and Carroll was solid. And it's nice that Matt Carroll's actually going to be starting to make a bit of money, so that this is going to be handy for next week. I'll talk about that in my trades. Brayshaw VC, what can you do? Sarong got off the chain there. My other captain option, Tom Green, just one of those 50-50 decisions that doesn't go your way sometimes. And this is fantastic for Tom Green. I think we're severely underrating Gold Coast and GWS mids for targeting VC and Cs, because Giants are giving up heaps of points to midfielders, and so is GWS. So GWS and Gold Coast are both conceding a lot of points. Bedford hasn't been tagging as of late, and Gold Coast just don't tag. So I think that's why they can get off the chain. So 136 for TG. He's just so consistent. Love his run home as well. I think there's 4 or 5 green matchups in the last 8 games of the season for GWS, of course, because they got the bye. Zach Butters was on 81 at halftime. Absolutely outstanding. Then got tagged by Jordan, but still delivered a 130, was magnificent. King Nick is back. we needed this. We absolutely needed Nick to fire, and he is 157, tremendous for Nick Dacos. So 560. So he's gone up, I think, 25, 30K there. 23K. So absolutely smashed the Windhager tag. And he was just unbelievable to see in that game. Adam Chera, dark day for the Blues, but so I guess I could understand the Chera 95. He's just so consistent, but it is an easy matchup against North in the midfield. So mildly disappointing, but it wasn't a bad score at all. Harry Shea's 103 was very good. Jai Caldwell, if Essendon keep mucking around with this Zach Merritt role, then if Jai Caldwell's going to be the main guy in the midfield, this is awesome for us Caldwell owners here. Zach Johnson, 32, was disappointing considering what we saw in the last few weeks. Just didn't use the ball very well. Rowan Marshall's a funny one. He was on 0 quarter time. So he basically scored 124 in 3 quarters, which was just immense from him. So very happy with Rowan Marshall there in those 3 quarters. Still got smashed by Darcy Cameron, but put in a very respectable score. Bailey Smith, I can actually now know how long I've been going for as well on StreamYard, which is pretty cool. Bailey Smith, 85, just a difficult matchup and disappointing day from the Cats. McRae, 131. This is awesome. Nice to have a forward that has a consistent role in that midfield. And awesome stuff from McRae. Good to have him for the run home. He'll have some ups and downs, but happy to have him. Caleb Daniel, 91. We just know what we're going to get from him each and every week, realistically. Just actually very consistent. Horn Francis, 88. I think we're just happy that he played because there were rumours that, well, not rumours, they were true. Like Horn Francis with that shoulder issue, which we saw his shoulder strapped up, scored an 88, which is awesome. But yeah, we'd like to see him a bit more in the midfield, but it was just good that he played. Chad Warner, 93, very good. Good against Port. He was, so very solid score again for Warner. Keeler, 34, got subbed out, whatever. And then Nick Martin, 93, was very respectful as well. Down a couple of weeks, but he's been tremendous for us as he still is the best defender forward in the game. Let's talk what we're going to do here. So we're going to be looking to wrap up our team right here, right now. Actually, not right now, but I'll tell you what's going to happen. So I think the elephant in the room is Marcus Bontempelli, and we need to find a way to get him in this week, whatever means necessary, because Bont under 600K is an absolute gift for us non-owners. Obviously, it wasn't a gift yesterday, but that's okay. What are we going to do? So, well, I do know what we need to do. We need to, unfortunately, trade out a premium to get Bontempelli, but we've held on to trades pretty well this year to where we can afford to do something like this. I wish there was an easy decision, but unfortunately there isn't. And I didn't mention, I miscalculated my ability to get a 24th. If Bont went his projected 132, he would have dropped down to about 560, but it didn't matter anyway. I was about 80K short if that happened, and now I'm about 100K short because I thought I could do Clark, Carroll, and Keeler to Bont and 2 99K rookies. Unfortunately not. So we have to trade a premium to get Bontempelli, and as I said, it's a pretty difficult decision because I'm very happy with all these premiums. So I feel like I haven't picked a stinker in terms of upgrades this season, bar one, which has been mediocre. And this is probably the one I'm leaning towards the most, and that is Chad Warner. It's pretty unfortunate. I do not recommend trading out Chad Warner. Chad Warner is fine. He is a top 6 forward, but I've got enough forwards, and we know that forwards is usually probably the worst line out of the 4 to gather points. So I've got, even with Warner, Smith, McRae, Daniel, Horn Francis, Petrarca, Rankin, and Nick Martin. So I've got 7 forwards after trading out Chad Warner. So that's what we're going to do. And we're also going to trade out Angus Clark to grab Tom McCarthy from the Eagles. He's going to be our cover guy because his role is just immense and he just looks so smooth with on the ball. Move Rankin there. Get Bont. Boom, boom, bosh. Those are our trades this week. Bont's in and McCarthy in. It's a side swap, I know, and that's really what I haven't necessarily been doing all season, really. I've just been prioritising upgrading the side, which has put me in this position to pick a premium to trade out, which is going to be Chad Warner. I think I saw his CBAs were 37%, and I think Sydney are going to run something similar like this. It is getting really dark in here. I think Sydney are going to run something pretty similar to this because I think they could be on the charge for top 8 now. And yeah, with some of their guys back, I just think Chad Warner, I think he can still average 100 for the rest of the year. But as I said, we don't need a forward. I think Bond can outdo him by 25 points each week. So, and that's how I'm saying it. So, which would leave me 5 trades with 17K banked. Now, I could leave it at this, or I could. Now, I'm not doing this week. I'm doing this next week. Because of Matt Carroll's -8 break even, if he scores a 51, he makes 26K. And he is going to be my little cash generator to get me a 99K mid forward, which will leave me 150K in the bank this week. But if I delay for next week, I could have as much as 170, 180K banked if he does well again, Carroll. So now I think this is probably a little bit too much money in the bank for correction trades and all that sort of thing, but it's great for flexibility. And that's what I really like about it. So I'll probably have about 180K in the bank for the run home with trades, with 4 trades in the bank, which I think 4 is usually the stock standard. They'll probably be enough, but it's weird because some years it's probably a bit too many to have, but last year, for example, it wasn't enough. So it really just depends on the carnage for the run home, and it will happen. There will be injuries that come that we least expect. So don't count your chickens too much. So yeah, that's what I'd be doing this week. So Carroll for McKinlay next week. But this week, it is just going to be these 2 trades here, and then we'll do Carroll to McKinlay next week because I need a mid forward. Actually, let's do that now so I can show you guys how the squad would finally end up looking. Ewan McKinlay. So it would look like this. So Holmes, Sinclair, Rosie, Mills, and then there was another guy that I'm forgetting, Sheasel. Pop Sheasel in there. Zach Johnson stays. Isaac Keeler stays as well. So I guess it's decent bench. It's not decent, but it's bench cover, I say. There are our 8 mids. Gawn for Marshall. Boyd for Gawn. And then we put Petrarca in there. And then my plan for the flex is, because I got 7 forwards, I may as well put a forward there. Just for extra flexibility purposes, I'm going to put the player that is playing the forward that is playing the latest game of the round to be put in flex. So like this week, for example, would be Jack McRae. And this is how the side would look realistically. So, yeah, I'd be very happy with this side. So, yeah, so we get flexibility. Campbell Gray can swap with Nick Martin if need be. Tom McCarthy can be our DPP legend for defence and midfield, and for realistically any premium that gets injured, bar the ruck line. And that's a bit of a weak point here that we don't have a third ruck, but I don't think anyone has another ruck to work with unless you got Jackson. My dad's calling me. So we'll wrap this up shortly. So yeah, this is how the side would look. Pretty happy with it. I think this is a lot better of a finalised team than last year. Last year was a stinker. We don't think it, and we don't talk about my 2024 performance. Yeah, so money in the bank for corrections, 4 trades is usually what I try to aim for. You don't want to go too little. You don't want to go too high. Unless you think 5 trades with little money in the bank is better. But I think I need to do this because Carroll without DPP does affect my flexibility on the bench, which is I love flexibility on the bench for the run home. So yeah, we don't get a 24th. We get Tom McCarthy, which is probably going to be everyone's 24th, which is cool. I trust Callum Mills to be the guy to be D6. So hopefully can average 95 plus. That's the aim here. The role looks really good. He looks fantastic. So anyway, I showed you that. Let's just put Carroll back in. And then we will do some optimizing because it would take too long to adjust that. And let's optimize to that. So I think they've done that. Nick Martin shouldn't be here, man. Why is Bo Allen? Why has it done that? Okay, anyway. Bo Allen will be on field. I can get all these guys on field. Maybe I can do this. No, I can't. Doesn't matter. But I can get all these guys on field, so including Bo Allen. And that will leave me with 23 players on field for this week, which is pretty cool. Oh, no, sorry, 22 because Tom Gross won't play. Or would I bench Tom Gross? No, it would leave me with 22 because I swapped Nick Martin for Bo Allen. And then I still got Tom Gross who won't play. So yeah, that's the squad. Vice captain, captain. I think there's some good options this week. A lot better than last week. Bont on debut as a VC is very cheeky. Having a look as well at a Nick Dacos VC into Dawson. Dawson's got Richmond. We saw what Bont did. Those taller mids against Richmond just overpower them. And Dacos VC is very cheeky against West Coast. I don't really care if he gets tagged because I don't really know if West Coast have anyone that can keep up with him. So Dacos is a bit of a tricky one. I don't think I have the balls to put the captain on him, but very happy to VC him. And yeah, I think that's how it's going to look. Let's have a look at some of the leagues. Obviously, lost a lot of my leagues this week. SDS Super League, I'm back in the 4th here. And it's had, so we got Stu's Primos flying up the ranks again. So that's good to see. What a round by Faye as well. That's huge. Minimum chips, Paul, that is unbelievable. 2,354 is crazy. There are some really nice scores here. How do I stack up on it? Yeah, it was a bad week. Guys. Really nice scores out of this SDS Super League. So into 4th there. SDS Super League 2, I'm also in 4th. Yeah, Jack had a disappointing week. James Golden Syrup, we know he was looking pretty good for the run home. Still in the top 100. I'm sure he can bounce back. Daniel's having such a good year, as I say every week. Yeah, actually a bad week for this league. I think we were 26th. So disappointing round there. But that's okay. We'll bounce back. This is a very good league. And yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there, guys. It's getting very dark and it is pretty late. Holy shit, I am dark. There we go. Don't take that out of context, guys. I think we'll wrap it up there. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next round review. Let's get it back to the main screen here. Sorry, guys, I'm new to... I use StreamYard for my live streams. I don't use it for doing this. It is very dark. I didn't know you could pause it. That's pretty cool. What's that? Restart. That's elite. Okay, I might have to use this from now on. I'm finally having the balls to do it. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys are all doing well, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.